Welcome back to Harriet's Above Ground Railroad YouTube channel. My name is Anthony Ross, and I am the president and CEO of the Harriet Tubman Ross Foundation. The purpose of this channel is to take the viewer through a journey of the true history of slavery from the beginning to present, also to increase your knowledge and understanding of systemic racism. There's a link below that I would encourage you to click that will take you to the Harriet Tubman Ross Foundation. I would ask that you go out, review the website, and take a look. So this will be a continuation of our video series, which will focus on resolutions, declarations, constitutional provisions and amendments, editorials, laws, proclamations, speeches, and executive orders, as well as manifestos. This section of this video series is focused on bringing additional context to the first 9 videos of this series. And today we're going to focus on, or we're going to read through the act to prohibit the importation of slaves of 1807. Now, before I get into the reading of the act, I'm going to start off this video like I do all the videos, and I'm going to ask 3 questions. The first question is, why was this group targeted to be enslaved worldwide, and why were they made to continue to suffer? Why did the rest of the world accept this behavior? Governments, rulers, and religions. And lastly, why don't people realize the present day effects on these people? So with that, we'll get into today's video. And today's video, again, is the Act to Prohibit the Importation of Slaves of 1807. The Act of 1807, which although dated March 2nd, 1807, actually went into effect on January 1st, 1808, and thereby did not interfere with the provisions of Article 1, Section 9 of the United States Constitution. Sought to end the slave trade by prohibiting the importation of men body onto the North American mainland. The act, however, was not rigidly enforced, despite the appeals of President Martin Van Buren and John Taylor. Evidence of this can be found in the fact that between 1808 and 1860, some 250,000 slaves were illegally imported into the United States. So now we'll get into the act. An act to prohibit the importation of slaves into any port or place within the jurisdiction of the United States from and after the day of January in the year our Lord 1808. Be it enacted that from and after the first day of January 1808, it shall not be lawful to import or bring into the United States or the territories thereof, from any foreign kingdom, place, or country, any Negro, mulatto, or person of color as a slave, or to be held to service or labor. Section 2. That no citizen of the United States or any other person shall, from and after the first day of January in the year our Lord 1808, for himself or themselves or any other person, whosoever either as master, factor, or owner, build, fit, equip, load, or to otherwise prepare any ship or vessel in any port or place within the jurisdiction of the United States, nor shall cause any ship or vessel to sail from any port or place within the same, for the purpose of procuring any Negro, mulatto, or person of color from any foreign kingdom, place, or country, to be transported to any port or place whatsoever within the jurisdiction of the United States, to be held, sold, or disposed of as slaves, or to be held to service or labor, and if any ship or vessel shall be so fitted out for the purpose aforesaid, or shall be caused to sail so as foresaid, every such ship or vessel, her tackle, apparel, and furniture shall be forfeited to the United States and shall be liable to be seized, prosecuted, and condemned in any of the circuit courts or district courts for the districts where the said ship or vessel may be found or seized. Section 4. If any citizen or citizens of the United States or any person resident within the jurisdiction of the same shall, from and after the first day of January 1808, take on board, receive, or transport from any of the coasts or kingdoms of Africa, or from any other foreign kingdom, place, or country, any Negro, mulatto, or person of color in any ship or vessel, for the purpose of selling them in any port or place within the jurisdiction of the United States as slaves, or be to held to service or labor, or shall be in any ways aiding or abetting therein, such citizen or citizens or person shall severely forfeit and pay $5,000, one motley thereof, to the use of any person or persons who shall sue for and prosecute the same to effect. Section 6. That if any person or persons whatsoever shall, from and after the first day of January 1808, purchase or sell any Negro, mulatto, or person of color for a slave, or to be held to service or labor, who shall have been imported or brought from any foreign kingdom, place, or country, or from the dominions of any foreign state immediately adjoining to the United States, after the last day of December 1807, knowing at the time of such purchase or sale, such Negro, mulatto, or person of color was so brought within the jurisdiction of the United States, as aforesaid, such purchaser and seller shall severely forfeit and pay for every Negro, mulatto, or person of color so purchased or sold as foresaid, $800. Section 7. That if any ship or vessel shall be found from and after the first day of January 1808 in any river, port, bay, or harbor, or on the high seas within the jurisdictional limits of the United States, or hovering on the coast thereof, having on board any Negro, mulatto, or person of color, for the purpose of selling them as slaves, or with the intent to land the same in any port or place within the jurisdiction of the United States, contrary to the prohibitions of the Act, every such ship or vessel, together with her tackle, apparel, and furniture, and the goods or effects which shall be found on board the same, shall be forfeited to the use of the United States, and may be seized, prosecuted, and condemned in any court of the United States having jurisdiction thereof. And it shall be lawful for the President of the United States, and he is hereby authorized, should he deem it expedient, to cause any of the armed vessels of the United States to be manned and employed to cruise on any part of the coast of the United States or territories thereof, where he may judge attempts will be made to violate the provisions of this act and to instruct and direct the commanders of armed vessels of the United States to seize, take, and bring into any port of the United States all such ships or vessels, and moreover to seize, take, or bring into any port of the United States all ships or vessels of the United States, whosoever found on the high seas, contravening the provisions of this act, to be proceeded against according to law. So that is the reading of the Act to Prohibit the Importation of Slaves of 1807. And again, the sections that I read was Section 2, Section 4, Section 6, and Section 7. And again, the purpose of this provision was to prevent the U.S. or U.S. citizens from bringing slaves, mulatto, or people of color into the United States. But also remember that the effectiveness of this act was very minimal, and basically evidence of this can be found in the fact that between 1808 and 1860, some 250,000 slaves were illegally imported into the United States. So with that brings us to the end of today's video. And I'm going to end today's video by asking the same 3 questions that I asked at the beginning. First question, why was this group targeted to be enslaved worldwide, and why were they made to continue to suffer? Why did the rest of the world accept this behavior? Governments, rulers, and religions. And why don't people realize the present day effects on these people? So with that, I would encourage you all to click the link below to the Harriet Tubman Ross Foundation, visit the website, but most importantly, I would encourage you all to get involved and help Harriet achieve her dream. Thanks, and I'll talk to you on the next video.